So just again, let me say welcome to everyone. It's good to see lots of folks on. And if you have questions as we go through, know that you're always welcome to interrupt or put them in the chat, and we will come through and answer those as we go through our meeting. So I'm just checking. If you're not muted, we do need you to mute. And Holly, I don't have access to do that, so it makes it so that we have less background noise and stuff as folks are listening to not only here in person, but when they listen to the Facebook Live session once it's posted. So it's good to have everybody on board, and we're right at the very beginning of the school year. This is an early meeting for us. We typically don't do one this early in the year, which is a good thing because then it gets us a chance to all connect. It gets us all a chance to connect with one another. And again, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat and we'll get to them as we go along. So for those of you that are brand new and have not been on a PAC meeting before, the acronym PAC stands for Parent Advisory Committee, and this is our Raven-wide Program Advisory Committee. So we have folks with us from all across the state, and we've got staff, we've got parents. I don't see any students right off the screens that I can see here. So welcome to everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. The purpose of the Parent Advisory Committee is, one, for you guys to be able to give feedback to us so that as program staff we can make good decisions that help the program grow and serve you better. The second part is to give recognition where recognition is due. So if you have students or folks that are doing a great job that you would like to recognize, you can share that not only through this larger PAC group, but you can also share that through your local PAC group. And we'll get to introductions and things here in just a minute for those of you that are totally brand new. The other thing that the Parent Advisory Committee does is they also help to plan the activities at the local office. So when you have a local office PAC meeting, that's where you do that planning as far as what activities are your students interested in, what do you guys want to help support and offer. The big thing that everybody needs to understand is communication. Communication in Raven happens multiple different ways. Email is probably the primary. Phone calls are right up there with emails. If you have not checked your junk mail yet for your SMORE flyer for the week, that gives you all the weekly activities. You'll definitely want to do that because you don't want those going to your junk mail every week, because you and your children will miss out on all the great happenings that are at each office, because usually all of the activities and all of the RSVPs for those activities are sent out in the SMORE flyer. So you want to make sure that you have a good handle on where that's coming into your email and stuff. Additionally, there's calendars, office calendars in each office. You've got web-based calendars. There's all kinds of things. And then quarterly, we do the Ravens Call newsletter. The first one of those comes out, I believe, in October. And Megan, out of our Anchorage office, is who spearheads that effort. So if you have student recognition that you would like to submit either as a staff member or as a parent, we do need to get those submitted to your local office, and then they get sent to Megan for inclusion in that Ravens Call. The other thing that we do for recognition is when our school board meets, we have recognition that we submit from Raven to the school board, and then the school board makes that selection and sends that back to the individual family. So keep in mind that if you have students that are doing great and wonderful things, we like to promote that, and we need your help to do so. Additionally, in addition to having contact with your advisory teacher or your special education teacher if you have a student with special needs. You might also be in touch if you have high school kids with your counselor. We have 2 counselors this year. Ryan Tilbury, who was with us last year and is based out of Fairbanks. And then we also have Megan Rosendahl, who is based out of our Eagle River office this year. And you'll recognize her name. She served as a advisory teacher last year and our grad coach the year before. And her title is actually that of grad coach for this year as well. The other folks that we have on with us today are administrative assistants, and they work very closely with our family liaisons. And we're going to do a quick round of introductions here in just a minute for those folks as well, so that everybody can put a face and a name together in case you've not had a chance to come into your local office. And that is the last means of communication that we have on here, in addition to texting, is that you can come into the offices. All of our offices are currently open. So if you need to schedule an ILP or just want to meet the teacher that you worked with over the last year but didn't get to meet face to face, you actually can come in and do that right now. So let's start with a round of introductions, and can we just go off of the list as it is listed on our agenda? So that would put, they're in alphabetical order. So Anchorage, you're up first. So Megan, are you where you can click in and say hi? She might not be where she can click in and say hi, so.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Something's going on with our conference room TV. The volume and everything isn't working, so we're in here on laptops. But I'm Megan Mascanio. I am the admin in the Anchorage office. This is Stephanie. She is our admin clerk in the Anchorage office, and we are in the process of welcoming Christy Kelly as our family liaison.
All right, and that takes us to Delta.
Hi,
Hello,
I'm Julie Zadlowski. I'm with Delta, and our family liaison is Katja.
Go ahead, Katja, hop in there and say hi. And
for those Sinenko, my computer's kind of slow. I couldn't hear if someone was talking already.
That's all right, Katja. And for those of you that don't know, Delta just is in the process of moving into a new office. So if you are a Delta family joining us online, just know that their phones still aren't working well yet, and their internet is kind of working. So if you have trouble reaching them, please send them an email or reach out to the Fairbanks office, and the Fairbanks office is working to help them with some of those communication pieces as they make that transition. So hopefully here in another week or so, everything will be up and running smoothly, and they'll have everything stuffed back on the bookshelves and out of the boxes. So that's a big task for a small office. So big kudos to them for making that move this time of the year. Eagle River.
Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome, Heidi. Eagle River, we can't hear you. There you go.
Okay. Jamie Rubel, admin for the Eagle River office, and Jolie, our family liaison.
All right, and I see for those of you that were looking for the agenda, Holly posted the link right in the chat box if you need to click on that. Next on our list is Fairbanks. Julie, are you on?
I am on. I got on a little late. We were pretty busy, but I'm Julie Gillette here in the Fairbanks office, and with me is the other admin, the wonderful Tammy Rump. I told her to come over so you guys could see her. We are still in search of a family liaison, but we're hoping to have one real soon.
So, thank you for that. We have lots of family liaison transitions this year. So, Juno.
Shire here in Juneau. Our family liaison has been Melissa Bonchadelli, and she's been amazing. She is moving away from Juneau, so we're sad to be losing her. But we look forward to whoever our next family liaison turns out to be. And then we've got advisory teacher Tracy Gunkel here too. So moves to you.
Hi, this is Tracy.
And that brings us to Wasilla, and I can't see everybody just because I'm on a single screen today, so I don't know if Monique or Natalie are on today. I know their phones were ringing off the hook earlier when I was talking to them, so they might not have had a chance to join us today. But in the Wasilla office, you have Monique Ratzlaff, and Daphne Fisher-Ward is our family liaison, and then the other admin assistant in the office is Natalie Shire. So any one of those ladies are a great resource when you have questions about activities or things like that in the office. Let's do a quick round robin of staff. Who's on today? I saw Heidi Richards. Go ahead, Heidi, you're at the top of my screen.
Hello, we're enjoying our new office. We're in Delta Junction, and I'm the advisory teacher here in this office.
And Holly did a fabulous job of introducing Tracy Gunkel there in the Juneau office. And next across my screen would be Erica.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erica Jones, and I am one of the advisory teachers here in Anchorage. It's great to see everybody.
And who else is in the Anchorage office? I can't see everybody.
Rebecca is in a meeting.
Okay. And then let's take Kayla. You're next on my screen.
Hi everybody, Kayla. I am an advisory teacher here in the Eagle River office.
And what Kayla didn't share is that she also has the split duty of special education also in that Eagle River office. So if you have a special needs kids student, Kayla will be one of those that you get to connect with. Beth, you're next on my screen.
Okay, there I am. I'm Beth Talby. I'm in the Juneau office. And hello.
And then that takes us to Bridget. Bridget is a brand new teacher with us in the Wasilla office.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bridget, and I am a new advisory teacher.
And we're happy to have her on our team. She has lots of expertise in special education and other areas, so feel free to reach out. And then let's go back. The group that I have on my screen is the Eagle River group. I can't see who else is in that group as far as staff goes.
Hi, I'm Courtney Fogarty. I'm an advisory teacher in Eagle River, and we also have
Anna Stiller, and I am a brand new advisory teacher as well.
So, and for those of you families that might be working with those brand new advisory teachers, just know they got lots of help and lots of support. So don't hesitate to ask them any question that you have, because they can, if they don't know the answer right there, they can get you the answer, and it's a great opportunity for them to keep learning more new things about Raven. Heidi, did you have a question? Okay. I just figured I'd check because I saw your hand flash across there. And Patty, did you want to take a minute and introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. Thank you. Just want to say welcome. It's good to see everyone here, and just we really do value your input. So we like to hear from you. It helps us to get better, and that's our goal, is to just keep improving the Raven program. And just thank you for your support and your confidence in us. So, welcome.
Thank you, Patty. We talked a little bit about communication and those types of things, because those are all super important. The next piece of what we're going to talk about is the parent involvement opportunities. So know that we have the private Facebook groups for each one of our offices, like we talked about at the very beginning. Holly is experimenting. We are testing out the live stream option for today. So, and then that will be posted in the other Facebook groups once we're done. So just know that if you have questions or you want to learn more, if you're new to homeschooling, or even if you're an experienced homeschooler and you're struggling with something, a great resource is to post whatever your question is up on that Facebook page, because there are a ton of families that are connected into those Facebook pages, and someone else might have had that experience ahead of you and be able to share that with you to help you get past whatever is whatever you might be struggling with. So just know that you have that as a resource, as well as all the advisory staff here at Raven. Next on our list is the student activities, workshops, and field trips. Just know that this year, because we are back open at this point, we are offering activities both in person and virtually. And we're doing more activities this year that are across sites Raven-wide. So we had really good feedback from those activities that we did Raven-wide last year. So we are doing more of that this year. If you, of interest might be, if you have middle schoolers that need a group to socialize with, there is the middle school chat group. Additionally, if you have high schoolers that want to connect, we also have the teen chat group, and those are Raven-wide. And I know that Megan is also working on Teen Leadership Council at each one of the sites. And then we also have National Honor Society, which those are all great ways for kids to connect. And in some places they get credit for it, and others it's just a time for socializing and fun. So there will be more announcements as far as those activities go from each one of your sites. So be looking for those s'more flyers that have those activities so you can figure out what fits best into your schedules and how you can get your children connected. The other thing that we've had a lot of questions about lately are the art classes that we offered last year. And just to share, we will be having those again. We have a new art teacher, and so we're waiting for that person to come on board, and then we will get the schedule and all of that information out to families. But we just wanted to put that on your guys' radar, that that will be available again this year, because we had a good response to that the last couple of years. Parent trainings and workshops. I'm sure some of you have seen the emails that have gone out. There have been a lot of parent trainings that have been sent out, and there will be more to come. So if you are new to homeschooling, or even an experienced homeschooler but might be new to middle school or high school type things, be watching, because we are doing a lot more of the parent workshops than we have done in the past. There's a whole series of ones specifically for high school kids and how to get your high school year off to a great start and to keep your grades up and to begin to think about what are those next steps going to be. And then if there's a workshop or something that you guys would like to have offered and you're not seeing anything go out about that, do let us know, because we build workshops all the time. And they're usually at parent request, at student request, or because a teacher has noticed a need. So if you know that there's a need for something, please just let us know, and we will get those resources gathered and make them available for parents so that you guys have an awesome year. Program improvement and quality services. We're always looking for that input from you guys. We do 2 surveys per year. There's usually one in the fall and one in the spring that are specifically related to program improvement and quality services. So when it's the time for those, we'll send that out via s'more flyer, and you can click on the link and give us your feedback. And do note that we read every comment that is submitted on those, no matter how long they are. Because it's our opportunity to learn what parents would like to see us do. Program growth and development. Our program is always growing, and the key aspect of our program growing is the word of mouth that we know that parents provide in the community based on the experiences they've had with Raven. So if you are so inclined to continue to share that, that would be a huge help. When you see those ads on Facebook, if you've got friends that you think should see those, please hit that share and that like button so that that word gets spread further across our area where we serve families. And just to share a little bit more about that, we've got a couple of things down a little bit further, but you may have seen the ads on Facebook. We do have ads currently running on Spotify, and we have ads that are on the radio. You may have seen them on the side of a bus. And new coming up here in the next week or so is we have these lovely little ads that are going to be on the shopping carts in some of the different communities. So if you happen to be, it's called cartvertising. I heard that word for the first time this year. It's cartvertising. And so if you go to a Fred Meyer's or a Cars store, they're not going to be at every store, but they're at some of the stores. And if you see one or you hear people talking about them, it would be great to know if that's catching people's eyes because it's something new we've never done before. We'll also have a few radio spots in some communities, and we've varied it based on the community need and what we think will work there. So any feedback on that is always appreciated based on what you guys hear in the community. Community partnerships, we're always looking for ways that we can partner with folks in the community to support our kids. So if you have students at your site that are interested in doing volunteer activities, or you have a student that is interested in doing a volunteer activity, we are happy to recognize those community partners that are willing to support our students in those efforts. So be sure to let us know if you do something like that so we can provide that recognition for those community partners. School ID cards, this is a question that comes up a lot at the beginning of the year. It's most often covered in that ILP meeting when you're meeting with your advisory teacher, but I always try to put it out here. If you have a student that needs a student ID card, please take their picture, just like you would a normal school picture, shoulders up kind of thing, and send that into your local office, and we will make sure that you guys get those student IDs. In addition to that, parent-teacher cards are great for all of you parent-teachers to have because then you can get discounts at certain places. I know Target, Walmart doesn't, as far as I know, but you've got Michael's, Home Depot or Lowe's. They usually run special days, and then there's some others as well. Joanne Fabrics is one, so just know that there are places around that do those things. I believe Barnes & Noble has certain days of the month, so you got to kind of check out their website and check out what they have for teacher discounts. And then those parent-teacher cards get you that parent-teacher discount. So if you don't have one and you need one, please reach out to your advisory teacher. Fred Meyer Community Rewards Program. Raven Homeschool is a Fred Meyer Community Rewards Program participant. So you can log into your Fred Meyer's account and you can link that to Raven, and then we get a small little portion of their charitable giving that they do. And that goes directly into our student activity accounts to be used with students. Some of the offices do box tops, but not all of them. So that's something you'll have to ask at your office if they do that. Most of our offices do some type of a book fair each year. It could be Barnes & Noble. It could be Scholastic. So if you have voracious readers at your house, that is a great time to buy books, and again, the money that we get from that goes into our student activity accounts to do more activities with kids. So it's a great way for you guys to help support more activities for students. The other thing that we have, and this most often applies for our students that are in high school, but sometimes the youngers get it too, or sometimes parents get things for their children. And that is we have the Cafe Press store where there are some items in there, Raven gear and stuff like that, that you can get. When we put up the new items with the senior logos on them, then all the senior gear will be in there as well. And I know the 21-22 senior gear has not been put in there as of yet, but it will be. So yes, Holly is correct. They do the she does the student ID cards, and they print them and mail them every few days. Eagle River is doing Scholastic. So again, keep your eyes open, and those things that fit what you would like to do, feel free to hop in and participate in those. A little bit more about student recognition. We have the board recognition that we submit students' names and that to the board, where the board gives that recognition. Do know that when you submit those as parents, we ask for a picture and we ask for a paragraph or two write-up that tells about the recognition. We have recognition that we put in Raven's Call as well. And then we have Raven scholarships for our graduating seniors. And each local office is always happy to put any student recognition on their wall. It's usually right at the front in a prominent location so that those kids get recognized for their work. And if you have students that love to do art, we love to hang their student artwork in our offices. So just know if you've got budding artists that would love to share their work, we would love to be able to show off their work. And for those that are art oriented, we usually do an Art in the Capitol project. That's usually in February, and those items are, they have to be submitted and then they get reviewed and chosen for participation in that program. So looking ahead at goals, for those of you that have been here, you'll notice that our strategic planning goals for this year are a continuation. There's not a lot of change here. So we want our pre-K kids to be ready, and so we offer the pre-K scholarship for those kids and a backpack full of supplies so that they have what is necessary to get off to a great start. In addition, we give them a $275 scholarship that can be used for math and reading readiness activities. Read by third grade. We want all of our kiddos reading on grade level by the end of third grade, if at all possible. So if you have a struggling reader, it's really important for you to reach out to your advisory teacher and see what other supplemental resources might be available that we can help provide so that your struggling reader doesn't have to struggle for very long, so that we can help you get them up to speed. And then the last major goal that we have is the graduate ready. We want all of our kids to graduate on time. We know that some take longer than others. Last year we did some very intentional work with our kids that were struggling at the senior high level, and we were successful in helping a bunch of those students graduate when they didn't think they were going to be able to. So we will be doing more of that work this year. So if you have a senior that is struggling to get finished or afraid that they don't have enough credits or whatever, we definitely need to get them connected with a counselor and all of that kind of stuff, and make sure that they get the support needed to be successful moving forward. What questions, concerns, ideas, comments would you like to share? Oh, I know what I needed to share with you guys. Remember, you asked me at the last meeting to do a survey out to parents as to what is the best time to hold the PAC meeting. Well, I did the survey and I was surprised when I got the results back. I called Holly. I said, Holly, I've got a dilemma. everybody was talking to me about how we might need to move the time. Well, when I got the survey results back, it showed that this 2:30 to 3:30 time frame was the best time frame for the majority of our families. And I'm like, okay, how do I then accommodate these families that are a little bit outside of it? And that's when Holly had the wonderful idea of using Facebook Live so that we can share it out on our Facebook group. So thank you for those that for that idea to survey everyone to verify that the day and the time are good, and we will hold to this for this school year. And then we'll take a look at the end of the year again and reevaluate if we need to do that, to make a change there. Yes, Jolie, go ahead and share on the student recognition.
Recognition for your child can be kind of off-putting, but it's super important for everyone to do that. We don't get a lot of applicants, and then that ends up, if your child wins, that's something that can go into what I call their resume fodder for college and for later on applications and things like that, to show that they're a good student. So I just wanted to encourage all of our parents to, we're usually pretty critical of our kids, show their bright side and get those applications into us so that we can pick students. And then the second thing I wanted to bring up was to toot our teens' horn because our Teen Leadership Council has been written up in the Eagle River Chamber of Commerce newsletter and the Greater Eagle River and Chuyak Garden Club's newsletter for their volunteer hours that they've been doing on the Forgotten Gardens project. So that's just huge. That's something that those students also can show when they're going on to apply for colleges and things. That's it. You need me now.
So are there other questions or things that you guys would like to share? And if you need ideas for activities and things like that, I've got a list here that if you'd like me to share some of those, I can do that. And then you guys will have more to talk about when you meet as you're at your own site-based PAC meeting.
I wanted to make a comment about the teachers discount. You had mentioned Barnes & Noble. To my knowledge, we go there pretty frequently. It's 20% off anytime you go, as long as you have the card. And I wasn't able to get the card in the beginning of the year, and they took an email that said my name, and then at the bottom it had Raven's stamp at the bottom. But they're really friendly and they'll work with you. So it's 20% any day, and then you were correct that there are certain days, I think it's weekends, that you get 25% off. So they're a great company, and they do purchase orders if you can't afford it at the time, but it is a long process. So I want to put that out there to anybody I talk to. I love, letting my kids shop and not really having a budget, but the purchase order process through Barnes & Noble is pretty long. So I just encourage you to put it on your credit card and then submit for reimbursement. That's all.
Thank you, Maddie, for sharing, because it's been so long since I used it personally. I forgot that they also do the 20% every day. Anything else that anyone would like to share with the larger group? Yeah, and Heather, thank you for posting that you were able to sign up at Barnes & Noble also just by using the email that you had received from your teacher. So there are lots of ways to do that to help homeschooling parents cut the cost of some of the things that they're doing. So if you need ideas, if you're struggling with something, please don't hesitate to reach out. That is what we are here for. Our job is to help you serve your children well as you educate them for life beyond school. The last item that I have on my list is just a reminder. All of the offices will be doing an open house back to school event. So be on the lookout for that information. Those are always a lot of fun, and there's always food and games and all kinds of fun stuff involved. So be on the lookout for that information coming from your offices. I know that the first one coming up, I believe, is just next week. So, and I can't remember which office it is right off the top of my head, but do know that there's a bunch of them coming up here in August, so be on the lookout for that information from your individual office. Yes, Eagle River is first off the docket with that August 4th one. Thank you for posting that in the chat. Any other questions, comments, or concerns as we close out our time today? Oh yes, the chat is just burning up with all those dates. So Juneau's is August 25th. Anchorage's is August 31st. Oh yes, good share, Sarah. The Pizza Hut Book It program. I forgot all about them. Again, that's one I used when my kids were little, but my kids are all older now. So that's a great program. And Wasilla's is August 26th for their back to school. And Delta's is the 17th. I hear there's going to be some pizza involved in that one. And somebody I saw was going to the, oh, Julie, you're right, it is potluck. August 12th for Fairbanks. And then Anchorage, aren't you guys going to like mini golf or something? That should be fun. All right, if there are no other questions, then our time is done for today. We have our next meeting will be October 27th at 2:30. And that'll be just after, right at the end of the big enrollment count period. So there's always good information that comes out about that time. And we'll have more to share. All right, I'll hang on for a little while if there's any individual questions that nobody wants to ask in the larger group. And then, Holly, you can close out the Facebook Live whenever you would like, and I'll just hang out here for a little while for those last minute questions from either staff or families.
Hey, Kim, do you know when the